In the hushed hours of the night, when most of the world is cloaked in darkness and the only sounds are the eerie whispers of the wind, the night shift workers step into a realm where reality seems to blur with nightmares. These brave souls, whether guarding empty buildings, patrolling deserted streets, or toiling away in dimly lit offices, often find themselves confronted with the inexplicable and the chilling. Here are 3 true night shift horror stories that will make your spine tingle and your heart race. 1. The Unseen Presence. Sarah had been working as a security guard at an abandoned warehouse for several months. Each night she would patrol the vast, empty corridors, her flashlight casting long, twisted shadows on the walls. But there was always a feeling of unease lingering in the air, as if someone, or something, was watching her every move. One particularly cold winter night, Sarah was making her rounds when she heard a faint whisper echoing through the darkness. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest, and strained to listen. The whisper seemed to be coming from the depths of the warehouse, a ghostly voice barely audible over the sound of her own ragged breath. With trembling hands, Sarah approached the source of the whisper, her flashlight trembling in her grip. As she rounded a corner, she was met with a chilling sight. A figure standing in the shadows, its features obscured by darkness. Sarah called out, her voice quivering, but there was no response. She took a step closer, her heart pounding in her chest, and reached out a trembling hand to touch the figure. But as her fingers brushed against the cold, empty air, the figure vanished into thin air, leaving Sarah standing alone in the darkness, her mind reeling with fear and confusion. From that night on, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that she was never truly alone in the warehouse, that some unseen presence lingered in the shadows, watching and waiting. Michael had been working as a night nurse at St. Agatha's Hospital for years, but nothing could have prepared him for the horrors he would encounter one fateful night. It started out like any other shift, with Michael tending to the patients in the dimly lit corridors, his footsteps echoing eerily against the tiled floors. But as the night wore on, strange things began to happen. Equipment would malfunction for no apparent reason, the lights flickered ominously, and the air seemed to grow colder with each passing hour. Michael tried to brush off these occurrences as mere coincidences, but deep down, he knew that something was terribly wrong. As the witching hour approached, Michael found himself drawn to the hospital's abandoned wing, a place that had been sealed off for years due to rumors of hauntings and strange occurrences. Against his better judgment, he pushed open the creaking door and stepped into the darkness beyond. What he saw inside chilled him to the bone, the ghostly figures of patients long gone, their hollow eyes staring out from sunken faces, their moans echoing through the empty halls. Michael tried to flee, but the door slammed shut behind him, trapping him in the haunted wing with nowhere to run. For hours, Michael wandered the corridors, pursued by the restless spirits that haunted the hospital's halls. It was only when the first light of dawn broke through the windows that he was finally able to escape, his heart racing and his mind scarred by the horrors he had witnessed.